Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. And you know that it's Couch Pilots. Welcome, all my friends, to the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, but won't you call me the Black Bahama Mama? And across from me, he loves it when you call him Big Papa. It's Captain Philip Restisher. Good evening.
Hello, Bahama Mama.
That's right.
How you doing, my friend?
You know, obviously my nickname's been Bahama Mama for a long time.
I've always called you that since the day I met you. I looked at you and I said,
What do I look like, buddy?
Bahama Mama.
I said, you're damn right. And just every time someone says it, I'm in a great mood. Because, you know, my birth name is Jason, right? And now I'm a captain, Captain Jason, whatever. But when someone gives you a nickname, it's kind of saying, I love you.
Right, yeah. It's a term of endearment.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that somebody took the time to come up with that name for you because it's an endearing way of saying, hey, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I'm there for you, man.
Everyone under the sun can call you Jason.
Sure.
But to me, you'll always be the Black Bahama Mama.
Right.
So,
exactly.
So I love it. It makes me happy when people call me that, especially you, because you came up with it.
And I'm Big Papa?
I know that you love it when I call you Big Papa.
Right.
I'll throw my hands in the air.
Is that Biggie Smalls?
It is.
Okay.
What was his name? Wallace? Christopher Wallace?
I don't know.
R.I.P.
I never did get into Biggie Smalls.
No?
No. I was never into Tupac or Biggie. So when
if you had to choose one, though, someone put a knife to your throat and a gun to your head.
Well, I'd pick Tupac because I think it's like I can never get myself to look that good with a bandana on. Mm-hmm. And he always looked good with a bandana.
He did.
He tied it backwards.
Yeah,
not in the front.
Not in the front, that's right.
And not in the back. The knot was in the front.
Knot was not in the back.
Right. So.
And then all eyes were on him, too. So, I mean, I think that says everything, right?
Why were our eyes on him?
Because, yeah, not in the back.
Oh. Ironically, maybe that's how he died. Maybe he turned his headband around and got a knot in the back of his head and died.
That is one of the leading theories about why he died. I know actually why he died. He had been shot, right? He was in. I think you've seen like a fight or something in Vegas, and someone pulled up and they unloaded. I think even like Suge Knight was in the car. And
I thought Suge Knight was the one that killed him.
No, he was in the car.
Oh,
but I don't even know if he got shot. So they unload on him, and then he's
blam blam. You have to say that blam
brat brat brat.
Yeah.
And then they said, "Oh my God, Tupac, you've been shot. We gotta put a tourniquet on your arm. Let's use that bandana." He said, "No. That's my signature look.
I'm leaving the knot in the front."
And they said, at least let me turn the knot around so you look decent. And he says, no.
He goes, not.
He said,
like anthrax.
He said, I'd rather bleed out than change my style. And he did. And he passed away.
R.I.P.
That's right.
They made a movie about him recently. Did you go see it in the movie theaters?
Was it Inception?
No. It was something about, I don't remember the name of it.
The Dark Tower.
I think it was It.
Oh, I did see that. I saw that the other day.
Did you like it? Nobody will go with me.
I'll go with you. I'll watch it again. You know what?
Thanks, Bahama Mama.
You bet, Big Papa. No, I went to Morton Cinemas at
nice
9:45 in the morning. Not kidding. So I was off work, and I have a job now. So
you haven't started it. So
I haven't started it.
So you weren't off work. You were still unemployed.
Yeah, it's Frederick. But so I went to a movie at
by yourself.
No, I went with a lady.
Oh,
yeah. So
high five that shit.
I'll tell you some more about that off air. Ended poorly, but not at the movie theater later. Anyways, $3.99 to get in the movie.
Nice,
and you get a free popcorn. That was a great deal.
Was because all the time you get free popcorn all the time?
No, I think if you come before
matinee.
Noon, yeah. If you go to a matinee, you get $3.99. But I liked it. It was good.
Really? Okay.
There's some scary stuff. It was fun though. It was funny. It really captured. Did you watch Stranger Things?
No, I never saw it.
Okay. Well, it captures kind of that same spirit of the nostalgia of kids in the 80s, kind of Bad News Bear styles where they're being raunchy and dirty.
Sure.
It's fun. It's a fun show. Let's go get some free popcorn.
All right. When is the second one supposed to come out? Spoiler alert. At the end of it says Chapter 1.
How do you know that? You haven't seen it.
Well, I hear people talk. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Oh, do you? Well, I think the original one was like, hey, here's a bunch of kids doing some stuff, and then time passes, and then the kids are adults,
right?
And then another part of the story. So I think it's gonna be the same thing,
right?
But it'll probably in a year or two. But this one, it's crushing right now. So I think they're probably gonna put their foot on the gas and really crank out that next one. They'd be smart to do so.
Right. All right.
Anyway,
well, it's a date.
It is a date. Let's set the date, and let's set some fan feedback. Contact the show, won't you please? There's so many avenues to do so, and all of our frequent listeners, they're called frequent flyers. You're going to get some points, and why not contact the show and get those points, right?
Right, Amundo.
Well, what can you get if you are a frequent flyer?
Well, you can get a surprise prize.
Oh, yeah.
You can accumulate your points so you can get a trip on Air Force One with us, live on the plane, do a show with us. We don't have a lot of... There's some people that aren't local, so they're going to take advantage of the surprise prizes. Autographed aviator glasses.
Yep.
I just went and got a new stock from the dollar store, so we got sign them all up. And,
used underpants, right?
Yeah, definitely used underpants.
I was talking to Dustin from the Drunken Lullabies podcast recently about how you said that you had underpants from when you were in high school still.
Yes, I have boxer shorts.
Okay, because I was saying I want to see those. I want to see what kind of condition they're in, and we forgot to do it the last time we talked about it.
Okay, so I'll make a note.
Let's bring it to the It movie.
We can put free popcorn in it. I'll just
bring your own used underpants from high school day, and you fill it up for $0.25.
Well, I can bring it on. I can bring it on the plane the next time if you want.
Okay, whatever's closest.
Because I know you don't like to come over to the house since I closed the pool down.
I was the first one in and the last one out, and as soon as you close it up, I said, "See you next summer, pal."
Right. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen to my pool boy. My brother.
Yeah.
We closed it down yesterday.
You won't see him until it gets hot again.
I won't see him until it gets hot again. So I took advantage of it. We cleaned my garage out right after as the water was draining. We cleaned my garage out. So I was like,
milking it.
I think I'm good for the winter, in case something happens. So.
Yeah. Well, good.
He's no longer a pool boy. He is now a dog sitter.
Oh, for you?
Yeah, for the rest of the time.
I'm so glad you guys have bonded over stagnant water.
With lots of chlorine.
That's good.
Let's kick it off with some voicemails. Would you like to do that?
Absolutely, I love it.
All right, here we go.
Hi, this is Mel from the Better Business Bureau. I'm calling for a Philip Reschischer, a.k.a. Blake Clatton. We got an anonymous message from one of your anonymous employees saying that you were disrespectful and discriminatory towards him or her, because it's anonymous. We would like to have a dialogue between you two, as he feels due to his disability, he's not able to complete all the tasks that you so forcefully demand of him, which are unconstitutional. If you could call me back at this number, that'd be great, Mr. Clatton. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Well, I'll if you don't mind, I'll start this.
Well, I will say that
okay.
I'll start real quick if you don't mind. We don't have many people under our employ. We don't have a lot of people with disabilities. I will say that I do have a club foot, so that technically means I am disabled. But I swear to you, it was not me. I did not make that call.
Oh no, I'm sure it had to have been DSJ because he called the Better Business Bureau instead of like the Employee Act, council or something.
Right.
He called the wrong place.
No, I remember when he first came to me and said he had problems. I said, call the Employee Act Council, and he was like, and he turned and walked away basically.
Sure.
And that was the first time he'd ever really given me the cold shoulder.
Brr.
Yeah. Well, he had an ice pack on. He had hit it on the propeller earlier.
I don't think any of the tasks that we give him would be considered, inappropriate or unconstitutional.
Sure. And I tell you, too, for all of our first-time listeners, we went through the frequent flyer program a little bit, but there's an employee here. He's not on mic with us. He never is and hasn't been and probably won't be as far as I'm concerned, but his name is Down Syndrome John. We call him DSJ. He's on the tarmac. He waves those golden cones so we can get up. You do everything in the middle, and then to get back down, he's waving those golden cones, get us back in.
Sure.
So this is who we're talking about. This is the person in question, and he's had some questionable work ethic and behavior lately as it relates to his newborn baby.
DSJJR.
Yes. So, it sounds like it probably was him who made that call. And what is your plan here, having just heard that?
Well, before we played that, I was just about ready to ask you if you had his write-up meeting, where you were going to print it out, fill it out, laminate it,
and then file it.
put it in the middle folder, then file it.
Yeah.
And because we didn't have any documentation to fire him.
And we have to do it. I didn't want to do it, but you were adamant about it, and this is a 50-50 deal. Buddy,
How'd it go?
I feel like you have to be a social chameleon sometimes and talk to people.
Come, a social chameleon.
This show is built
You say
on the back of his songs.
hello. You shake a hand. Come, a social chameleon.
You have to talk to people the way they need to be talked to in order to get the results that you want. All right, so that's how I went in there with DSJ. So what did I have with me? Of course, I had a bunch of old Led Zeppelin comic books. It was kind of like a Kiss where they put their blood in it, except as they put their urine
in the ink. Mm-hmm. So all the yellow was
yellow. It was piss yellow.
Piss yellow.
So I went in there with some comic books. I kind of fanned them out on the coffee table. And it was one of those things where I put the coffee table on the edge of the pilot's lounge, and I made him sit on the other side, so where he wasn't in the lounge technically because he can't be in there.
Right.
And I just said, I need you to sit down and talk. And he's like, "What's this? Is it Led Zeppelin?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
get the lead out.
Yeah, get the lead out, buddy." And I had, of course, he likes those Mambas, the little chewy candies.
I got some of those upstairs.
So I had a bowl full of Mambas for him, and I didn't do it like, "Oh, I got this for you." It's like, "Oh, here it is. Oh, sure, you can have some if you want." So I really did kind of, sweeten them up a little bit.
Okay.
And I said, your performance as of late has been subpar, and we need to do something about this. We need to create some sort of action plan, and this is officially a reprimandable, which is a word, meeting where I have to write you up.
Nice.
And so his mom, we wheeled her in because she can't walk again after the accident.
Right. She'll never be able to walk again. She was in a plane accident with Harrison Ford.
And DSJ's
deceased wife,
ex-wife, you could say too. She died in it.
Okay,
he's a widower.
Right? We'll just call him widower. Don't say ex-wife.
And I had to have a witness, and I know you were so red hot over the issue, and you didn't want to be there. So I
didn't think it was safe for either of the three of us for me to be there. So
the situation was combustible. That's what I'll say.
Right.
So we wheeled her in. I had her sign off as a witness, and then I kind of pushed her out, and she just went back about 30 feet and
hit the wall.
Yeah. And I went through everything. I went through the action plan until I want to retain you as an employee, and I know this is your third job, and he's talking about picking up a fourth job now.
Wow.
I don't know what that looks like. I think he mentioned something about getting a job here at the FCF network, like repacking parachutes, and because once the parachutes come out, that you have to pack it back in. I think anyway. I'll let him talk to that later. But he seemed fairly receptive, and I don't know if he got you a little something as an apology. I don't know if you've come across that yet.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's a carrot cake with no icing.
I hate carrot cake.
It's just all the cake part.
Where's it at?
It's he left it on that table. He took the Mambas, which I didn't say he could take them all, but he
took
a
bowl of Mambas.
And he took the bowl too.
I was like, "Hello, Mambo number 5. Just take 5." That's why the song says that, is so you can only take 5 Mambas when somebody offers them to you.
A lot of people don't know that Lou Bega was a spokesperson for the Mamba Corporation, but that's exactly right. And so anyway, he took the bowl of Mambas. He came back and put down a carrot cake. It was on a big platter, but it was no icing. It was very odd. It was just the cake part.
There was no frosting. It was orange in the shape and a little green, so the shape of a carrot. Shape of carrot.
That's exactly right.
All right. Well, let's do it in a voice fail.
That was his apology.
I'm not gonna eat fucking carrot cake. If he knows me as well as he says he is, he would know that I can't stand carrot cake. Here we go.
Okay.
Voicemail number 2.
Fine.
Hey guys, this is Tyler. Just want to call and say, I think I'm gonna be quitting the fan fiction. I just heard an episode of Low Blow where Adam said that it made him uneasy kind of hearing it. Kind of freaked him out a little bit. I believe that's a sure sign to say, "Fuck it, I'm done."
Fuck it, I'm done.
Making him cringe, that's something right there. By the way, on that episode of Low Blow, that was the gayest show I've ever heard. And Dave wasn't even in the room. I mean, just I felt sticky listening to it. It was horrible.
Sticky.
Jason just got sucked and fucked while his brother watched, and it was horrible. No, in all reality, it was an awesome show. Had a lot of insight. But I do have to ask this. Jason said the frequent flyer points were bullshit. That he told his other brother that. And I'm sitting here on a load of frequent flyer points that I'm just now finding out is just, I'm sitting on a load of bullshit. Anyways, I can get past it because I'm donating all those frequent flyer points to Jason, the black magistrate, since he lost his job. Which, in all seriousness, really am sorry about that. Hope you find something, you know. Okay, anyways. Naughtiest videos of Australia sucked. But that introduced me to this other, through YouTube, introduced me to this other Australian show, which was fucking amazing, that has multiple seasons, was not apply to this show, but just watch it in your free time. I cannot remember the Argo. I think that's the name of it. Argo. It's basically like lamb chop for Australia, but it's fucking dirty. Like, I don't see how they got this back. And if DD can comment on this, please, because I'm in love with this fucking...
Oh. So that was the first part of it. I'm going to go ahead and play the second part of the voicemail. It's a two-parter.
Okay.
Okay, I got cut off, but I'm just saying I fucking love this show. I know it's not this. I know y'all show is not the platform to bring up a show that has multiple seasons that the people fucking love. But still, if DD can shed any light, because like I looked it up on Wikipedia, and you know it ran forever, but it would have these little jokes, dirty jokes thrown in that it was a kids show. Like, I don't know, was Australia just like, oh, okay, we're okay with that, or was it just like, they won't get it. Anyways, one more thing I wanted to say is, Captain, rest assured, lay off DSJ, fella. He's sitting there taking care of his youngin', and you're giving him shit. And I understand he has a job to do, but you're over there talking about fornication with women who were married. It's just, it's ridiculous. Here he is, just a proud American trying to raise his son. You're giving him shit because you don't have your snacks in order? Anyways, that's about it. Long enough fucking voicemail. Keep on keeping on, and that's about all I got.
Great voicemail.
Holy cow!
So much to talk about. I was jotting down notes.
There really is a lot to respond to.
First of all, for Tyler, 1 million frequent flyer points for a double voicemail.
For sure.
Definitely.
A lot of times I don't agree with how many points you give out, but you're absolutely right there.
And just to let Tyler know, first of all, thank you for donating. You're the second person to donate.
Yeah.
Frequent flyer points, and in this way, Jason will be able to have milk for the next couple weeks until he starts his new job.
Yep.
Milk and honey. But no, I think the frequent flyer points being bullshit. I think you just said that just to be like funny joke, because you're trying to be the joke man. You were holding up that episode being the funny guy.
Yeah. Such an asshole. First of all, I was wearing a pink shirt at that show. And he called me out for being gay for it, and I am not a gay guy necessarily. I've done some gay things, but
oh yeah, can you list 3?
They've all involved kissing dudes, but ironically,
that's fine.
I've kissed you.
Oh yeah, I liked it.
What did he say? What's that?
I was giving you the signal of I have something else I forgot about, so I need to keep this here.
Oh no, that's fine.
That's what this meant.
No, it's so much to comment on there. Yeah, he was. some insight into that interview, because that was an interview that I did up in Chicago with Adam Z, the Lobo podcast. I hope he keeps the fan fiction coming. Personally, don't let what Adam say skew what you're doing, because you obviously, this is my creative outlet doing this podcast with you. And I think Tyler's creative outlet, as far as I know, is this sumptuous fan fiction. And who cares if it makes Adam weird or nauseous? I'm the one that's being depicted in most of it being, sodomized.
Right. Sodomy.
And so, like, if I'm fine with it, I say keep going for it.
Keep going. We love it.
And then Adam and I it was just a bit we were doing. Obviously, the frequent flyer points add up to things. I mean,
You're doing some improv.
People get frequent flyer points. People get signed aviators. We have people on the show. Like, are we going to invite them in without some sort of exchange of currency? Absolutely not.
No, they can't board the plane unless they give us their card so we can punch it.
That's right.
And everybody, Tyler knows.
He knows.
I mean, Tyler, he's sitting on a shitload of frequent flyer points because he gets his invoice every month.
That's right.
And you know what? Next month when he gets his invoice, there's going to be 1 million more points on there, which basically makes up for the points that he gave you. So you get some milk and honey.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm good for those points. People are going to get them back in full. I did find a job. It's an office job. It actually pays a little bit better than my previous job, so I can't complain. So seriously, thank you everyone who dropped me a line and said, sorry you're going through a hard time. Thankfully, it was only a few weeks. I know some people who are unemployed for months at a time, and that sucks. So I'm very grateful to have an opportunity. And I'm also very grateful to have come across Argo's Cartoon Connection. It ran for looks like 8 or 9 years.
Wow.
And I don't think we can do. Maybe we can. It doesn't say the number of episodes, but if it's running for many years, obviously it's more than one. I'd be interested to see what this is all about.
Oh, we'll check it out on our free time. The only other thing I wanted to comment on is Tyler's almost threatening me to leave DSJ alone, and
yeah.
I felt uneasy because I know I've seen video of Tyler with a gun.
I saw that too. Yeah, he is,
and so that does scare me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel as though, here we're in a situation where, I run a business, and I have to do stuff sometimes that people don't like.
And things, personally, you probably don't even like yourself.
Yeah, probably. And so, with the 7 listeners we have, and one of them's mad at me, now I don't know what to do.
That's a huge percentage of our audience that can be turning the
that's
dial
like
off.
1/7.
Yeah, one of the 7 people does equal 1/7, I suppose.
So it's like
it's like 90%?
Yeah, I think
upwards of 90%.
But you know what? Tyler made it up because months and months ago, and I apologize for. Let's see here. Months ago, we had mentioned to Tyler that he likes to write songs. He plays the guitar.
Sure.
And it was like, hey, can you write us a Couch Pilots jingle?
Little ditty.
A little ditty. Now I have 46 seconds of this ditty. For some reason, I cut off. But
I have not heard this. Okay, awesome.
And here we go.
There's a little pot on my Stitcher feed. It goes by the name of It Burns When I Pee. Oh, Mr. Clayton said I'm tired of this shit. I'm gonna start a whole new show and call it Couch Pilots. He called him Jason, said, man, I need you bad. Got a whole new show and you're the only friend I have. Oh, Jason said, yeah, man, I'm down as long as I can bring my friend who is also down. But he is down in a different way. He's the kind of down who loves to smile all day.
Nice.
Wow, I had not heard that. When did he get that? A while back?
And no, we asked him a while back. I just got it this past couple weeks.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's amazing. First of all, he didn't mess up one time with the guitar. Second of all, it was great writing. I can't wait to hear the whole thing. But Tyler recently injured his hand.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yes, he injured his hand at work, and so first of all, R.I.P.
R.I.P. hand.
R.I.P. hand. But no, I love that. It was swinging. It had that country feel, but yet I felt rocking.
To me, it harkens back to when you used to play music on IBWIP. It was that kind of roots kind of sound.
Definitely.
And not only, and it mentions IBWIP right in there, the old show. So
pays homage. They say.
You know what? Just crank the pachinko machine up to 10, and let's give this motherfucker some points. That's incredible.
You call it. How many? Call it. How many? 5 million points.
5 million points. 5 million. 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 5 million.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
I like it.
So the show is Couch Pilots. We watch television shows that have only one episode, but here's the rub. I don't even own a couch, and I'll never purchase one, ever.
You sit on a futon, but it's not considered a couch. It's a futon because it's a bed.
Mm-hmm. And I also have a Davenport in the basement. I got,
Iowa?
Yeah. I have the entire town of Davenport in my basement covered in visqueen.
Nice. I like it. No, but you know what? When you walk into your living room of your house,
yeah.
I mean, there's a very feng shui feel. I mean, I feel balanced. And so I think if you put a couch, a big, huge leather white couch or something, that would make me feel really awkward and uncomfortable because I wouldn't want to sit in it.
That's right. Every time my mom comes over to my house, she says, You got to open this up a little bit. You got to put this couch over here. And I said, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Why didn't your mom come to your house? She lives 2 houses away. Why didn't she just say, I'm not coming over there. You come over to my house.
It goes both ways.
That's what my mom would say. My mom would say, I'm not coming over to that shithole. Come over here.
She rarely comes over to my shithole. But yeah,
I've got a bay window. Fuck you. I'm not going over there.
Today we discussed the pilot episode of Coming to America from the year of our Lord, 89. Great year. 1989.
1989.
This is the 1980s saying, hey, what? Let's go around one more time.
We out of here.
Yeah.
Let's
Peace
go out with
mofos.
a bang.
That's right.
I was the ripe old age of 14.
I was 8.
So at 14, let's see. Nope. No sex at that time.
No sex. Now that really is kind of the mark, like in your life where you say, it's like when we measure time, we say it like before Jesus, right? BC and then AD.
Right.
And then when Jesus crested his mom's vagina, that's
BP,
right,
before pussy, and AP after pussy.
That's exactly how it is
and
in the Bible.
You know what?
And that's how we determine time in your life.
Sure.
Before AP and BP, right?
Right. And I'm super excited because I've thought of some more stories, but I've got to wait till the appropriate year.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Nothing from 89?
No.
Nothing weird happening as a 14-year-old?
No.
Okay.
Well, there was...
Nope.
The molestation happened a lot earlier than 14. I was like 7 when the molestation happened, so I'll note that so we can talk about that.
And I will X out every single pilot that I know you're a 7 on because we will not be doing that. But what we do at this time is we say, let's go back in time.
Back in time. Because we cannot review these pilots. Oh, it's 2017. Let me review it. No, we've got to kick it back to the time it was made. We don't want to set precedence or prejudice against it because of the times. No CGI, no Courtney Cox,
right,
and no Milli Vanilli,
and no cops,
So
let's go back in time so our minds can be in a place where we can properly digest and ultimately rate this pilot because it's not fair otherwise. So Leona Helmsley in 1989, the billionaire of a hotel operator, she is convicted on tax fraud charges. Remember Leona Helmsley?
The name sounds familiar. I don't think I've ever stayed at one of her hotels.
I think she was just like a huge bitch.
I'm a bitch. I'm a tease. I have lots of hotels. Please make a reservation. I won't pay my fucking taxes. I got you.
What's that? Oh, the song?
Yeah, I got your back.
Leona Helmsley.
Guard your grill, knuckle up.
Yeah.
Is that a gay slang?
Guard
your grill, knuckle up?
I've never heard that before.
Oh, okay.
I've never heard that. British police arrest 250 people for celebrating the summer solstice at Stonehenge.
That's a lot of paperwork for nothing. Just some rocks in a circle.
You know what the solstice is?
Yeah, that's the summer solstice. We did watch that stupid Doctor Who spinoff where they were cult doing stuff, and it was during the summer solstice. So yeah. That's where you get a girl naked that's a virgin, and you
stab her to death.
You stab her to death. And you play Lamb of God.
I don't know. Yeah, because it was kind of a Stonehenge situation in that pilot, too, that Doctor Who pilot, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my mind is. It's like maybe everyone, by 1989 rolls around, everyone had seen that Doctor Who pilot. Like, whatever's going on at Stonehenge is summer solstice, that you're getting arrested.
But think of all the paperwork for arresting 200-plus people.
Do you think they could just have everyone sign their name there?
No, because they've got to print it out, fill it out, laminate it, put it in a manila folder, and then file it.
Oh, man, I didn't even think about that. The lamination is really a slow process, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is like...
He's watching it. It's
like a fax machine, but slower.
And that's like waiting for a pot to boil, Right?
Or waiting for a pot to piss in.
That's exactly it.
The pot doesn't boil. The water in the pot boils.
Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong. I've ruined so many pots that way. I set them on the stove and
just turn it up as high as you can until they melt.
Put anything in, I don't put anything in there.
Wow, does it get? It probably burns the inside. The what's that called?
Manila?
No, the stuff non-stick stuff. What's it called?
Teflon Don.
Teflon.
I think I've ruined about 8 stoves and at least 3 times as many pots trying this. It's not. I mean, you say nice. It's not nice. It cost me a lot.
No, it's nice.
It cost me a pot to piss in. And finally, for 1989, Voyager 2 passes the planet Neptune and its moon Triton and sends pictures back to Earth.
They just recently had some satellite.
Satellite.
In my hair, like a diamond in the sky.
Built on the back of
they just had a satellite crash into Jupiter
purposefully, right?
Purposefully, and it was taking a bunch of pictures right at the end. It's like,
did you see them all?
I saw one.
Were they cool?
It was pretty cool.
Was it really?
It was pretty cool. I saw one. I was like, I can't see anymore. That's freaking me the fuck out.
It is weird to think that we got something that far into outer space and it still communicates with us.
Right. No, what's weird is how can a satellite take an HD clear as bell picture of another planet as it's crashing into it, and my wife can't take a picture with her cell phone of somebody 5 feet away without it being blurry?
I feel like there's a recent example of that happening. I don't know. It's weird too that some of these moons for these planets are bigger than Earth. I think
that's
right?
crazy.
I don't know, man.
I think sometime, if this show ever takes off and people listen to it, I think we should look into getting a spaceship and seeing if we can make it some travels.
So, instead of couch pilots, couch.
No, you're still
couch-nauts.
Couch-nauts. We're still pilot. Oh, we can. If we did couch-nauts, then we could only review sci-fi.
Oh my god, you sound like
TV shows.
Just sci-fi shows? Well, that begs the question. David Bowie said there's life on Mars, but is there life in outer space?
There is. There are aliens.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of it.
What do they look
I saw a praying mantis today. It's obvious there's aliens somewhere.
You saw a space mantis or
no, a regular praying mantis.
That's like Zorak from Space Ghost. He's a mantis from space.
Yeah.
What about do you think they're single-celled organisms or do you think they're things we could
They're sickle cell anemias.
Really? You think so? A lot of black people in outer space?
That's racist. No. It's not racist because they're the only people that get sick. I digress. Let's go.
That's fine. We'll talk to Mark Ratterman about that. So I'm in 1989.
Oh, I'm there.
That's where I am.
Voyager.
And now I got to think, what's the next step? How did we choose to watch Coming to America? There has to be reasons why we watch this.
There is reasons. We have 3 simple criteria. It's the backbone of our show. It's when we look at a pilot, we go, okay, there's 3 criteria. Pachink, pachunk, pachok. Okay?
Yep. That translates to?
Number 1.
Right.
It had to be a one-off pilot. It did not go to series. No second one was made. Whether it was aired or not is pretty much irrelevant.
Doesn't matter.
We've watched a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
And you can go with this.
Right. Or you can go with that. Number 2, it had to be on the interwebs. We had to find it on the interwebs so we could watch it.
Or we had to make best friends with the producer of one. And
nice. High five that shit. And people would say this is not a cool podcast. Oh, yeah, it is.
Talk to Greg Garcia, would you?
Hello. Make sure to check out Guest Book on TBS. Season 1. I've been watching it illegally on a Russian stream. And number 3, it had to be free. We can't pay for it. Obviously, we have alcoholic beverages. Yeah. We have paper.
Yep.
You have a computer. You got a tablet.
Right. I got a wireless mouse.
We have a fucking airplane. Yeah, we can't afford to pay for it.
We're an Air Force One.
Right.
That's it. Those are 1, 2, 3. Uno, dos, tres, as Green Day once said for their albums. And then the final thing is, great. We found it. It's free. It's one-off. But where can I watch it? I'm a human being. I have needs and wants. We can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or download the app for Daily Motion and check out all the commotion. Where's my shirt, Kevin?
Prepare for takeoff, please. Kevin needs to buy shirts for each one of the Vizio and
Vimeo.
Vimeo.
I think the Vimeo one is, or go to Vimeo and fucking figure it out.
That would be. Can you imagine that shirt?
I imagine going to church in that shirt. Summary of the pilot. Based on the film of the same name, this pilot places Prince Tariq of Zamuda and his assistant Oha in the house of a family in Queens, New York. Pretty good pilot.
That's not a pilot summary.
Pretty good summary.
It's a short summary. Straight to the point, no faking. Cooking MCs like a pound of bacon, run them. Being quick and nimble. This show is built in the back of his back burps.
Holy mercy.
So, I mean, it could have been more, but it could have been less.
So, did you not care for that summary? I thought it was pretty good.
It's just too many names. Don't give me their names. Give me the synopsis of the situation.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. They put a couple names, and that can be confusing, right?
Mm-hmm. This show is built in the back of his back burps number 2.
Crap.
It's okay. Let it out.
I'm about in tears, actually.
Is there a tear in your beer?
I have a tear basin handy.
What are you drinking over there?
This is by Bear to Beer. It's Bear to Beer. It's a Japanese ale brewed with green tea and wasabi because I'm an idiot. It has malt, barley, hops, sugar, and yeast, green tea, wasabi. It's not very good.
Somebody stole a beer out of here because there's a specific one that's not in there.
Uh-oh. Well, yeah, I got some beer if you want one of those. There's a Stone. You want a Stone IPA?
Yeah, I'll take a Stone IPA. Stone me up, Daddy. Do you need the cap?
No,
sorry,
I'm good.
We're kind of turning back the curtain. I apologize.
That's fine. Interesting facts, right?
Interesting facts. Here's a long and short of it, folks. Yeah. Conrad rule in effect. I don't think he listens to this show anymore. But anyway, this is just the name of a segment. Jason's going to give you some facts that may or may not be interesting. It's not up to you to tell anyone whether they are or not.
Just the name of the segment.
Just the name. When you have a podcast, when you register it on Apple Podcasts, by the way, high five that. You did a very good job. They say, what are your segments called? Mm-hmm. Interesting facts, okay?
A lot of times they don't even care what your podcast is about. They just want to make sure your segments are properly named.
And it's understandable. Organization is the key to life.
Mm-hmm.
But don't discuss whether these facts are interesting with someone around you or someone not around you.
Don't say anything about them.
Don't Skype anybody about it.
Right.
Okay? Just absorb them, take them in. This is to help you in your long-term rating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, enough said.
This pilot went unsold but was televised on July 4th, 1989 as a part of the CBS Summer Playhouse Pilot Anthology Series.
What a worse day to have your show put on when nobody's home. July 4th.
Paul Bates reprises his role as Oha for the series pilot.
Okay.
This is a case where we watch a lot of these, right? Adventures in Babysitting, Legally Blonde, a third one, possibly a fourth one. And
definitely a fifth one.
Oh, without a doubt. And these rarely do anybody make the jump from the movie to the series, right? Mm-hmm. If it's a hit movie, back then there was a stigma. Why would I go to television? I'm going to keep making hit movies,
right.
You know? So why would I do that? But this guy was like, hey, I'll do it. Yeah. I got nothing else going on.
I ain't got nothing going on. I need to buy a hamburger.
That's right. So he was Paul Bates was the role of Oha, and he's like, yeah, I'll be in the pilot too. Why not? Let's see what happens. Stars Tommy Davidson in his very first acting role.
Now, Tommy Davidson, do I know him from In Living Color?
You do know him from that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You may remember him from In Living Color, where he was famous for doing like his Sammy Davis Jr. and Michael Jackson impressions. He was also in Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. He was like the guy they brought out in a little bag when he was in that tribal village.
Never saw it.
Never saw it? You never saw Ace Ventura? That's surprising. That's not one of the 5 films you've seen?
No. Again.
Tombstone, Encino Man.
Tombstone and Encino Man and everything with Al Pacino.
Okay. I think, so like, did you see Jack and Jill with Adam Sandler? Because Al Pacino was in that, I believe.
Oh, was he? I have to go back and watch it then.
Hooah!
I don't mean to break here.
No, please.
But at this point, we're already 40 minutes in. but so it doesn't matter. Hey, bonus episode. Fuck you guys. One of the best. There's two Al Pacino movies that I say that you have to see if you don't know much about Al Pacino.
The Shining.
No, he wasn't in that.
Okay.
Dog Day Afternoon.
And Raging Bull.
He was not in Raging. That was Robert Pacino. Okay, and then you have to see Cruising.
Is it? Yes.
Oh yeah, damn it is. Yeah, hell yeah, it is. Definitely, because it's uncomfortable, and you got to watch it. He's a New York cop, goes undercover in the S&M, the gay S&M BSGI world.
BMI.
Yeah,
Body Mass Index.
Right. Or something music in industries. It was a record label too. Anyway, Cruising and
BMG.
Dog Day Afternoon. Have you seen Dog Day Afternoon?
Honestly, it's one of the movies that I own but have not seen.
You know what? Do you have it on DVD or video cassette?
DVD.
Do you want to watch this some night?
Yeah.
Let's watch it on the big TV down here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do it.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I have the video cassette, so I have nothing to play it on. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. And with that, interesting facts over.
Whew.
I will say that Tommy Davidson is like a lot of guys from In Living Color went on to do big stuff. He's not one of those guys.
No.
Like David Allen Greer had a pretty good career ahead of him. He had on TV and in like theater.
Right. Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey being probably the best example.
The brothers.
Damon, all the Wayans guys.
All the Wayans. So many Wayans.
Did you ever see that weigh-in with Conor McGregor? He weighed in. I think he weighed in appropriately, and then he put some weight on before the fight.
Nice.
But yeah, this is a pile of bullshit, right? Like, hey, here's my pilot. I'm going to put it on July 4th when everyone purposely leaves their house. Right. Everybody. Why would you do that? You're probably going to get a better audience with like a test signal on your screen, right? No one's watching TV on the 4th of July.
Not anybody that has a life.
Next segment's Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. It's highly unlikely Jason got some Twitter responses.
I actually did this time.
Oh.
So Twitter responses, what we do is we say, hey, we're a podcast called Couch Pilots. This is the kind of thing we do. This is who we are. What do you think about all the stuff I just said? And what John Beasley, he was the music. He did all the music for the show. And I said, hey, greetings from Couch Pilots podcast. We talk about TV shows that only one episode. Coming up next for us is Coming to America. He says, oh, I'd love to see if I wrote the music for this. Thank you. LOL. He's one of those guys where he's got like 200 credits under his name.
Sure, he doesn't even know.
He's made 1 million, composed 1 million pieces of music for 1 million projects. He probably doesn't remember, but he's the one who got back to us. So he actually retweeted us, which was nice.
Nice. High five that shit.
And I said, well, you're credited as having done the music. You should check it out. And he says back to me, he's like, where do I find it? And to that I say, great question. And then I give him the Daily Motion website. And then I said, or go to YouTube, and you know what to do too. Hope you enjoy it.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Can you screenshot that part?
Sure.
I would appreciate that.
And I sent all this to him, and he favorited everything.
Nice
and
guy.
He was
nice guy.
Super pleasant.
Thanks, John.
And I will have to give this the John Beasley music bump, if anything, by the end of the show. I know we haven't digged into the specifics of the pilot, but already for me, this is getting a John Beasley music bump.
A JB?
A JB bump?
I want my JB bump, JB bump, JB bump. I want my JB bump, JB.
This is interesting. We got a good new handful of shows on the network, and this is usually where I play a promo, but I'm not going to play a promo this
Really?
week.
Why not?
Because I would like to get a promo or something recorded where we're talking about our archived shows, because they're still out there, right?
Yes.
So I want to take
some of them are.
Okay. I would like to take just a moment and talk about the archived shows. This is a promo break here. I hope this is okay. I'm doing this.
Oh, it's whatever you want to do.
Thank you.
You get it up.
You do everything in the middle,
and you get everything back down.
So, FCF Network. That's where we call home. That's our headquarters, and we've got a nice array of shows that come out very consistently here on the network. But there's some shows that have their time has come and gone, but they're still out there. You can still hear them. One of those shows was called The Song Inside and Out, and this was a show all about you. This is where you said, I don't want any help from any co-hosts. I'm smart. I know these artists. You guys are a bunch of bums. And you went out and you said, hey, Roots music scene, what do you got for me, right? Can you talk a little bit about the song Inside and Out?
Yeah, it is funny that you brought that up because, Yeah, I basically I wanted to do a music show. I wanted to do an interview, but I wanted to do a different kind of interview.
We've all heard interviews before.
Sure, blah, 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 Bruce Springsteen, blah, 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 Rod Stewart, blah, 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 Janet Jackson, okay? But I wanted to take one specific song by an artist and break it down and find out where it came from, what happened.
Great idea.
And it was an amazing format, and I enjoyed it so much. We had some great artists on the show, and it basically piggybacked off IBWIP. For years and years, I did over 100 interviews for IBWIP, and I said, let's give these guys, so people don't have to listen to 45 minutes of dick jokes,
right,
and then hear the interview. Let's give them their own thing. So we did.
We would do like one show a week of IBWIP, which we'll talk about in just a moment. And then sometimes you throw like a bonus episode out there during the week where it was just an interview. And at some point you said, you know what, let's separate these two animals and come up with it. So the song Inside and Out, and yeah, you focused on one song and you really dug into it. What was the inspiration? What was the song? You even talked about chord progression. You talked about, how they, just all the ins and outs of creating that one song.
Willie T. Taylor, there was a song, I don't remember right offhand what song it was, but he divulged that he never writes anything down. Like, he doesn't write lyrics down. He, just plays it until he stops, and then he plays it from the beginning again, and he just builds onto it, and he has never written down any of the lyrics to his songs. Craziness.
Pretty wild. So that was a great show. There's 20 episodes of that. You've hinted in the future that you might dance around doing it again, maybe not, but it's a really cool idea. No one else is doing that out there.
Right.
Do you have some more information about the song?
And like I said, I probably interviewed over 125 artists over the years with IBWIP. And the one artist that I never locked down the interview, geez, that bad, huh?
It's not great. It's not a great beer.
One of them that I always wanted to do, and I never got the chance to because I tried to schedule it a couple times, it didn't work out, was the lead singer of Those Darlings.
Okay.
And her name was Jessie Zazu.
I remember you talking about her recently, yes.
Gorgeous. She was an adorable little girl. Not little girl, but a little lady. She was adorable. And she was, she was an artist. She painted. She did a lot of that. That rock and roll, school, where kids would go and learn to play instruments and stuff. She was very, she worked a lot in that. But about a year and a half ago, excuse me, she developed cancer. And so for the past year, she's been fighting cancer. And just recently, in the past, actually on September 13th, she passed away at 28 years old. And I don't bring it up to bum everybody out, but that was an interview that I wish I would have kept bugging. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
It was just there was some conflicts with schedules, and then I just let it go. We had tickets to go see Those Darlings in St. Louis one time, me and Molly, and we ended up not being able to go. And now I kick myself in the head because that would have been awesome. But check out Those Darlings. They have 3 albums, and they're really good. It's cool.
Check them out.
Sorry, I don't mean to be a downer.
No, that's fine.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a downer.
Sorry,
I don't mean to be a downer.
I went back recently and I was listening to an old episode of our show, and where you did talk about that. You brought it up on the show before, and so I was kind of familiar when you brought that up. So I didn't realize that she had just recently passed away, but
R.I.P.
That totally blows. R.I.P. And R.I.P. the song Inside and Out. So check out Those Darlings and check out the song Inside Out for some great interviews about some great songs. We'll talk about IBWIP later.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry.
So no, that's fine.
I went a little too far.
Not at all. That was fantastic. So let's dig into Coming to America, the pilot that was and will only ever be a pilot.
Whew! Thank God it'll only ever be a pilot. Basically, here we go again. A movie that was highly successful.
Yep.
Let's turn it into a TV gold.
Did you see that movie?
No.
Okay.
Not all. I mean, I saw parts of it, but I never saw all the way through.
It was like you had Eddie Murphy, as you were alluding to earlier with your laughter, and Arsenio Hall, right?
Right.
And famously during the 80s, they were best buds.
Oh yeah, they were buds. They were like Black Power, basically.
Total bros.
Yeah.
And so the movie is you got this prince from a country which I think is made up in Africa, and he sends them to New York City. And it's a fish out of water story. And he says, "Hey, you take Arsenio Hall with you," and he did not play himself in the movie. He played a character from Zamuda, but he said, "Take him with you to watch over him." And they live kind of a slummy life, trying to get maybe, I think, a perspective for how other people live.
Sure.
Experience
a
the
spoiled
world.
prince from Africa, send him over to New York City, only give him $500 a month and have him live off of it and learn his lessons in life.
Sure. Humble him a little bit, right?
Humble is the perfect word for this.
There you go.
So it starts out with a painting of the forest and goes and it shows this big, huge castle model.
Yep.
It's a model.
Oh, is it?
It's not a real castle.
Okay.
It's a model of a castle. And the whole time the prince is talking, kind of bringing you up to speed on what's going on.
Yep.
There's a Madonna reference, like a Virgin reference.
Yep, there sure is.
And then it comes in closer to the castle. Like I said, he's a prince. They're shipping him over and saying, hey, you're a spoiled brat. His brother says, you're a spoiled brat. Get over, and you're going to have an allowance.
Yeah, you're not going to have people literally wiping your ass anymore.
Oh, God, I would love to have somebody wipe my ass.
What are you doing after this?
Okay.
And there's and cue the funky music, right? Like there's some kind of funky kind of horn section music playing, and the sound in this show is not great.
Yeah, guys,
It is tough.
The audio on this is horrible, and it caused quite a bit of an issue for me in regards to keeping up with this. But you know what? If you like African American comedy television,
sure.
If you liked Coming to America, you might as well try to get through it. Eventually, about 5 or 10 minutes into it, your ear becomes accustomed to the sound, and you can understand what they're saying.
That's exactly. Yeah, you have to acclimate your ear, absolutely. So they're like in an apartment. That's where it opens up, and this is a sitcom. Mm-hmm. This is shot as like a multicam sitcom, and you've got the prince and you got a big fat guy. So it's Prince Tariq and Oha.
Oha was the guy that was in the movie. He's the only original cast member for the movie to come back, and
he's like his aide. He's there with him, and they both have these thick, African accents.
He's a slave.
Essentially, Oha is a slave.
Right,
I'm glad you got that out of the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And he says the king is upset with the prince. He says he's an embarrassment. The things that he does, he's almost like this snotty little punk trickster kid.
He's immature. He's spoiled. He gets everything he wants. He doesn't know what real life is like.
And then already, they say, what are the strengths of Tommy Davidson, who was probably a stand-up comedian at the time? So,
thank you.
You're welcome. And he said, so here come the impressions. So right away, you got a Stevie Wonder impression.
Like you mentioned on Interesting Facts, Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson are like his go-to.
And I do specifically remember him doing Sammy Davis Jr. on In Living Color. So I don't think he got to that impression, but that series goes episode 2. You bet that's in there.
Exactly.
So he's doing the Stevie Wonder. He's got the glasses on, going back and forth with the head. It's not a bad impression necessarily.
No, it was pretty good. He takes the glasses off, and his eyes are rolled back in his head, so it's all white. I was like, I don't think blind people do that.
Maybe a bridge too far on that one.
Bridge over troubled blindness.
It's ridiculous. And then they mentioned,
the joke was ridiculous? Okay. I just want to clarify the joke was ridiculous.
And then it's a real testament to the times. He said, hey, I want to get a ticket. I want to go see New Edition. I want to see you too, and I want to see a Run DMC.
And in the background, there's a Run DMC poster.
Oh yeah, there was.
And I don't know if it was the quality of the footage, but the faces on the Run DMC were kind of blurred out. I don't know if they didn't get their permission or what, or if it was just a bad quality.
You could tell it was a Run DMC poster for sure.
Run my name.
And then the Prince, you can tell at this point that he loves American culture.
Oh yeah, he's just sucking it up. I mean, definitely. I mean, if you lived in Africa in a castle, and
a model of a castle,
and you heard New Edition, fuck yeah!
Point me in that direction,
Mr. Telephone Man. There's something wrong with my line. When I dial my baby's number, I get a click in return. R.I.P. Bobby Brown.
R.I.P. What? So the Prince, has blown their monthly stipend.
Yeah.
So they got this money they're allowed every month.
How much do you think that stipend was? Did they say?
1989 rolls around. You mentioned $500.
An apartment in Queens.
You mentioned $500. I bet it was $500 to $800 a month they were given. No more.
Yeah, 1989. Okay, I'm with you.
Maybe. And they're out of cash. The Prince has been going around buying a bunch of crazy crap he doesn't need, a bunch of stupid stuff, and they're out of dolo.
Right, and so their landlord / guy that holds the allowance, because the Prince's brother set it up with this guy, Mr. Mackey.
Yep. And
he is their landlord, and he is also the guy that holds on to their money each month. Mm-hmm. And
So the next scene after that, they go into his kitchen and have a conversation with him about it.
Definitely a conversation.
They say, hey, they got black guys. It's a big black guy, and there's really no context for him at first because the guys aren't in there. It's him by himself. He's trying to get some ice cream, and he's like, then he goes to open the ice cream. He's like, I'm a big fat guy. I love ice cream. And then he opens it, and there's no ice cream, and there's a note from his wife that says, hey, this is empty because you have a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
Right. I'm trying to save your life. I love you.
Yep. And then that's when the prince and Oha come in, and they're like, hey, what's our financial situation? Right. He's like, you're out of money.
I got to buy some tickets.
Yeah,
I got to buy some tickets.
I want to go see you too. But they're out of money. He says, you have no more money this
month.
month.
Would a black person go see you too?
I think like if a black dude was like, okay, like you like Asian ladies, right?
I love the Asian ladies.
So say there was some sort of Asian acrobatic event happening in town, and you're a single fella.
Okay.
Maybe you get some tickets because you want to go meet some Asian ladies.
Nice.
So maybe Prince Tariq is like, hey, all I've known my whole life is dark chocolate. Maybe I want some of that white chocolate, right?
Okay.
So maybe I buy a ticket to a white show and I go meet some white ladies.
Wow. You know what? To be honest with you, I wish you were with me every day of the week, and then you can
every day of the week.
Every day of the week, you can help me make decisions in life because that was really good.
All right.
And then, he's like, we don't have no money. You got no money till next month. They're like, oh, shit, basically. And so then Mrs. Mackey and the daughter, Phyllis.
She's cute.
Come into the room. You think so?
The daughter was cute? Yeah. I'm into it, man.
So how is life with dating and...
So the cute daughter gets home, and then they invite the prince and Oha to dinner. And they're like, hey, you want to have some of this pizza? And they're like, yeah, I love pizza. It reminds me of some food at my home country where it's made of bugs.
Ugh. Yeah, and he goes into a very deep description of like a bug sandwich.
Like smashing them up and toasted.
Right.
Yeah, it's
insect
disgusting.
food.
And Oha's like, I'm a huge fat guy. I love this not ice cream. This pizza is awesome. He's chowing down on it.
He'll eat anything.
Hell yeah, he will.
So then the prince says, hey, Phyllis, who is the daughter of Mr. Mackey.
Really cute.
Hey, how would you like to go with me to the New Edition concert?
And you know what? If I'm a lady, I'm saying I'll do whatever I got to do to get those tickets. Yeah.
I love New Edition. They were really good. It was Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
And then Belle, Biv, and DeVoe.
Yeah. Wasn't there a fifth one too?
Yeah. There's the skinny guy. There was a skinny guy with a big head.
Jermaine Dupri?
It could be. God, they were so good. Let's go back. You want to go back a little bit?
You ever hear that song they have about Spider-Man?
Do you remember this one?
No. I'm a young black lady. 1989 rolls around, and you wave the ticket for this in my face? Whatever you want, sir.
Listen. No, that's David.
Pretty close. It's pretty close, man.
It's very close,
these fuckers are ripping off the Jackson 5. I tell you that right now.
That was Candy Girl.
I know what it was. I'm just saying it sounds like...
God, I loved New Edition. There was an album where they had yellow vests on.
Sure
oh God, I loved it. I loved it. Loved New Edition. For a white guy from Peoria, Illinois, New Edition killed it. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I digress.
She's saying we can go, but we're gonna go as friends.
Just friends.
It's like, hey, I'm the prince of a fucking country. Okay,
right. You should be licking my ball sack.
She should have been.
She should have been.
I tell you what, she licks his ball sack. This goes for 8 seasons. Tariq decides he wants to go to work so he can make some money. He's like, you know what? I want to take you to the concert, but I got no money. I got to get some of that sweet dolo. And Oha is like, you want to work? Ha! Very funny. And then on his way out laughing, he steals a whole pizza.
Right.
That's what a fat guy does. He steals pizza.
Money. So then the next scene is in Mr. Mackey's diner. It's never even brought up that he owns a diner, and I just thought him as the landlord.
They're taking liberties with this because in the movie Coming to America, they work for their version of McDonald's. It's called McDonald's. Instead of the Golden Arches, they have the Golden Arcs. So it is a ripoff of McDonald's, and that's where they work. So they said, you know what, maybe we're not going to mess around with the McDonald's stuff. We're not
too much money.
So we're just going to go, let's just make it a diner. So that's what they do. Mr. Mackey runs a diner, and he's in there. He's talking with his daughter, and then Tariq comes in, and he starts doing his Michael Jackson.
Can we just call him the Prince?
Sure. We'll just call him Prince. Just call him Prince.
Okay. So the Prince comes in, and he's having a conversation with Fat Boy. That was a good rap group, too. Fat Boys. Do you remember the Fat Boys?
Sure.
I got a fat
Disorderlies?
girl. Oh, my jock. I got a fat girl. Oh, my jock. Anyway.
And he's reading a Donald Trump book, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's great.
And this is where he does his Michael Jackson. When he first comes in, this is where he does his second best imitation of Michael Jackson. It's pretty good. He's like,
it's not bad.
No.
Jackson,
it's not good.
Michael Jackson and Tommy Davidson, both skinny black dudes, right? Especially Michael Jackson's still pretty black in 1989, so this is good.
I was going to say, he's not black no more.
Oh, no.
But he's reading a Donald Trump book because he wants to be rich. He wants to make money in America.
Smart, right? He's looking around. He's like, who's a rich guy? Donald Trump is a rich guy. What's he doing? I'll buy his book.
Yeah. And the book says, buy some buildings and real estate.
That's exactly what he did. Not what the prince did, but what Donald Trump did. And you know what? It's so funny that because obviously he's our president. Thank God he's our president. But like it is genuinely like a testament to Donald Trump being relevant for 30 years in America.
Do you want me to tag Donald Trump on our tweet for this?
I wish you would. Yeah, let's really get some heat on this podcast, shall we? So he's talking about making money through real estate. And while they're talking at the counter, Mr. Mackey comes out and he says, "Hey, 2 of my waitresses called off work." And he tries to use it. It's like, I guess I'll have to miss my doctor's appointment.
Right, because he doesn't want to go to the doctor because he wants to eat good food.
Yeah, he doesn't want to eat salad and vegetables.
Ugh.
No, sick, disgusting.
Oh, no.
Pretty gross. Little treat for the fans. And then his daughter's like, no, don't do that. And then Oha's like, hey, me and the prince, we'll fill in. We'll work, and you can go to your doctor's appointment. And he's like,
but was it Omar who volunteered, or was it? I think it was the prince.
The prince said he would. Okay.
Yeah, because Omar's like, oh shit, this ain't gonna go well.
Oh, so the prince said yes, we'll do it. And then he does another impression. He does a Mike Tyson impression, right?
Yeah,
which is not. It wasn't great. It was weird.
It was not very good.
So this is basically just they say, hey, here's an up and coming stand up comic who does impressions. Let's
it's just a couple hours. Yeah, it's just a couple hours. But yeah, let's feed off his strengths, and his strengths are these 3 imitations. So Omar and the prince decide, okay, so they start showing, and Omar is doing all the work. It's a montage, and there's music in the background, and the prince is having a good time. He's dancing, talking to the ladies.
Yep.
And
they're all having a great dance.
Omar's flinging French fries like it's nobody's business,
holding 6-7 plates at a time, trying to take care of all the orders.
And so finally, toward the end of the montage, the prince finally gets Omar to do some dancing in like one of those Saturday Night Fever lines where there's people on both sides.
Yep.
And then Mr. Mackey walks in and yells at Omar because that's who he sees dancing. He's like, "You're fucking around. We got all these. We got a bunch of people playing football in the
There's
diner.
people staying on top of tables.
Yeah.
They look like they're having a hell of a time.
If you're not buying anything, get the fuck out of here."
I was looking at Mr. Mackey. And I was like, Mr. Mackey looks like a Kenan Thompson character from Saturday Night Live is what he looked like to me.
A little bit.
Anyway, so that
he
night...
fires him.
Yeah, he says, you're done.
Omar, you're done.
You suck. And that night, it goes back to the Mackey residence, and the prince is in the kitchen at night, and he surprises Mr. Mackey when he gets home.
Yeah, is he in the dark? Like, he's in the dark, he's pondering in the kitchen?
I thought he's, like, in the refrigerator, maybe?
And he has like, a royal robe on with the seal.
And he, like, jumps on top of Mr. Mackey. And then he talks to him about how Oha is depressed after being fired. He's like, he's really upset that he got fired. And Mr. Mackey...
Oh, no. Stop. I'm sorry. Mr. Mackey comes in. He thinks it's his wife, and he makes some sexual innuendos.
And that's why the prince jumps on him.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. And then Mr. Mackey sitting at the table with the prince. He's like, have you ever heard the story about the ant and the grasshopper? Have you heard of this story before?
I've never heard of the ant. I've heard of the tortoise and the hare.
I've heard of that one. I've heard of the frog and the scorpion.
I've heard of the lesbian and the straight guy.
I've heard of the fox and the hound.
Ooh, Milo and Otis.
Yeah, I've heard of the Incredible Journey. I've heard of the Incredible Journey.
5-0 goes west. I've seen that.
Yeah, have you seen that?
Yeah.
All right.
Number 6.
And that's I've seen All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh God, I love All Dogs. Did you ever see Lady and the Tramp?
Oh yeah, that great American film.
It was French.
What is the story of the ant and the grasshopper? Can you tell it?
The ant is a working.
Is a working mom. Is a single working mom.
The ant's a single working mom, and the grasshopper is some deadbeat asshole baby daddy, like my ex-wife is calling me today.
Right.
And she said, "You're a fucking grasshopper. Pay this bill." Yeah, and so the ant works hard and he achieves goals, whereas the grasshopper.
That's right.
Yeah, the grasshopper just fucks around, and that's what it basically.
And it says in this scenario, Prince, you are the ant. No, you're the grasshopper, and Oha is the ant because the Oha works hard and you don't. You're just screwing around. Hey, you're welcome.
You saved me.
And so, so it kind of sinks in. And I think he kind of has a moment of regret, like, I maybe I am screwing around.
Yeah, maybe I am be a douchebag. So Omar comes in and his back is hurting, right?
Yeah,
and then the prince makes some kind of joke about the California raisin.
I think briefly, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't very. But do you remember back then in 1989, California raisins were like they were. I remember at Hardee's, you could collect all of them.
I had a bunch.
The breakfast biscuits and stuff.
I had a bunch of those. I had like a half wall in my bedroom growing up, and I had them all like posed on this half wall. I had probably like 7 or 8. My favorite was.
Why did you only have a half wall?
We couldn't afford it. We were lower middle class.
But now your mom's got a bay window.
I know. She's always flaunting that bay window.
As soon as she left the house, she's like, "I'm getting a fucking bay window, and I'm putting this wall all the way up, and I'm not going over to his house."
Such is life, my friend. What can I say?
So he's having this conversation with Mr. Mackey, and basically, the prince puts it in his head that Omar has been feeling guilty. So it's back up at the apartment. Him and Omar are talking. He's like, Prince is like, "I know what's been going on. You feel guilty."
Yeah.
And it's the complete opposite, right?
Yep. So they kind of have this emotional heart-to-heart, and then the sax music starts playing when they get serious, and it's for me growing up, it was Full House. When Danny Tanner got on one knee and started talking to one of his girls who had the problem that episode, you knew resolution was coming. Such is the case here.
Yeah, you got to have resolution.
You got to. 30 minutes in and out. So the music starts playing, and they're about to make amends. That's exactly what happens. And then the prince decides they will get their jobs back. And the next day at the Mackey's place, the prince is exhausted, and Oha, I think it was. OHA, Oha, I think it was.
Okay.
And they're like, "Hey, we didn't get fired. We made it through our first day back at the job. We didn't get fired, right?" And then, and this is funny because you probably caught this at the end. The prince got tickets for what?
Glow.
The gorgeous,
high five that shit.
The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, featuring Mark Maron on Netflix right now, first season only. And that's the end.
They got picked up.
Oh, they will, yeah.
They did. They did. October, they're taping.
Okay. And that's it. That's the end.
Did you hear different?
No, that's what I've heard.
Okay.
And then during the credits, I always wait to the very end because it says later you got Night Court coming on. And then Shivers?
Yeah, I didn't remember Shivers. I remember Molly goes, "Ooh, I like Night Court." But I also saw that executive producer, Eddie Murphy.
Yes, it was an Eddie Murphy television production. And I also noticed there was a guy who worked on the show named George Boner.
Nice.
But this was on TV2, apparently. And so I'm an unemployed guy, right?
Right.
And so if I'm at home, I got the TV on while I'm, cooking up something, or I'm on the computer, or I'm cleaning the house. Throughout the day, there's like 2 4-hour blocks of Night Court on Laugh TV. So I'm watching more Night Court now than I ever did in the 80s.
It's a good show. God, I love that bass. Sweet bass.
So much Mel Torme, too.
He was on there a lot, wasn't he?
The Velvet Fog.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Lady, calm down.
Turbulence. Boy, this show didn't work for some reason. Do you know why? Do you know why this didn't work?
There's a plethora of reasons why it didn't work.
You're reading something. You have it written down.
You know me.
You're down with OPP.
Jermaine Dupri.
Other people's pilots.
First of all, I want to just clarify that there are times that we have watched black eccentric
I think it's black-centric. Black-eccentric means like they're odd people.
Okay, black-centric. So I don't necessarily always know what entertains them, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I can't always put myself...
I have a pretty good idea.
Because you like the black girls?
Medea.
I like a black girl.
Tyler Perry's Medea.
Do you, in your experiences...
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. If I can bring my knowledge to this show.
All right, yeah. Okay, so when making love or making whoopee with a black woman, do you find any significant differences that they like in regards to a white girl and a black girl?
No, I've said it often on the show is you turn off the lights, it's all the same color to me. The only thing I will say is that black ladies during the act like to say, "Oh my goodness."
Okay, well, that's great. Hey, high five that shit. You're doing great. For me, it was very predictable. I mean, it was, you knew exactly, once they presented what the storyline was, you knew how it was going to go. The quality, and it's not the fault of the pilot, but the quality, the video and
transition to Daily Motion.
Oh,
right?
God, it was a commotion for all I got to say. For me, it's a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air before Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Was it before?
It had to have been. This is 1989.
I think the Fresh Prince may have been
Okay, I'm going to look at it
No,
up.
you might be right. I think it was right around the same time.
You go ahead and tell me what you thought was wrong, and I'll look it up on Google. Hello, Google.
Yeah, let me talk over that. I think, obviously, there's no faith in this pilot. That's why they put it on July 4th. They knew that someone had pooped in someone's hand and said, I guess, put this on a television set, and they did it. But was it good? It didn't work. It didn't work. I think people, if I'm going to watch a television pilot based off of a movie, I want to be as genuine to the source material as possible. And yes, you did have one guy who made the jump, and we don't have to have, what are you looking at? 1990 on Fresh Prince? Yeah. Well done. Well done, sir.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're welcome. But this strays, I think, from the source material a little bit.
Right.
It's a really watered down fish out of water story.
It's cheesy.
It's
compared to the movie, it's cheesy.
You want to watch a fish out of water story? Guess what? I'm going to turn the channel right over to ABC, and I'm going to watch myself some Perfect Strangers.
What?
That's right.
With Balki Bartakamos.
That's right.
Casenteri Appleton.
He's from Mypos.
Mypos, yeah.
Where he had sex with sheep all day.
Yes. That was a good show.
But if I were to improve this, yeah, try to induce or infuse some elements from the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
There was very little that was, like maybe he should have been dressed in a Prince outfit. But that was when they first came over.
Or maybe get like Arsenio Hall and his dog pound to come there.
It's very, very hard to recreate Arsenio and Eddie. You know what I mean? And that's what you try to do. And you didn't have an Arsenio. You had an Eddie, but you didn't have an Arsenio.
Yeah, you need two thin black guys to get the job done, not a thin guy and a big fat guy. If this had survived, it's week after week. I think Perfect Strangers sets a good template for what that was, because that was a show that was successful. I think it had success for like probably 3 seasons. Probably went on for a 4th or 5th, where it kind of meandered and then eventually got canceled. But the Emmys, we're recording this right after the Emmys happened, and shows like Blackish and Atlanta, these are black-centric television programs that really were cleaning up. So this maybe you could even consider Coming to America in a small way a predecessor to some of these other shows that have had success. But minus the success, I would say.
Right, minus the success, which is important.
Uh-oh.
It just, to me, it just was so predictable and so cheesy.
Too formulaic, right? You have a weird scenario, right, where a guy is from a different country, he's a prince, right? And just why not take it a step further and make it original? Why be a slave, pun intended, to these formulaic sitcom tropes when you have the license to do whatever you want?
Right.
Why not make it something weird? Like my favorite example as of late is The Ghostwriter with Anthony Perkins. How weird was that show?
It was so weird.
It was so bizarre.
It was off the wall, and it didn't go anywhere.
Right.
And it should have.
It definitely
was
should
something
have.
different.
Yeah. So with that, we'll begin our final descent.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
IMDb score. It exists. There is a score here. Would you like to take a guess?
6.5.
It's 4.6.
Jesus Christ.
And that's from 8 ratings.
Ugh.
8. You need a minimum of 5 to be able to get some sort of average going. But
So
there's
3 more people did it.
yeah, they're necessary. That's exactly right. On July 4th, no one's watching
it.
No one cares.
Everybody's out watching fireworks, going to baseball games, cooking out, drinking brewskis.
I think this movie did okay, but not enough apparently to garner people interest to search it out and watch it later, because there's only one review that I found, and it wasn't even on IMDb. Those are just ratings.
Whoa.
The review I found was a critic review, and it was it says, "Reminder, a terrible Coming to America TV pilot happened in 1989." This is from Molly Fitzpatrick from splinternews.com.
She was Irish.
She says, "The pilot didn't sell, and for a good reason. It's bad. The movie is to the television show as McDonald's is to McDowell's," which was like I was saying.
Nice.
Tariq lacks Akeem's irresistible Pollyannish charm. So I think Akeem may have been Eddie Murphy's name in that movie.
Okay.
But so why change it? Why make it different?
Right, make it different.
And Coming to America mostly functions as a disjointed vehicle for Davidson's Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson impressions.
Right. Let's build a show to where he can do these two things.
This was a time, too, where they would say, hey, you're a funny comedian. You have what I would consider as an agent or a producer an it factor. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you X amount of money per year to kind of put you to the side and say, when we have a project that's right for you, we have you on retainer and we're going to put you in.
Right.
I think that's the case with Tommy Davidson. They probably saw him as this young, handsome, talented, funny guy, and we're going to use him in some capacity. And unfortunately, it was for this project.
On this one.
But it's also worth noting that the pilot features a head-scratcher of a Donald Trump reference. At one point, Tariq shows up at a restaurant with a copy of The Art of the Deal, which he explains someone threw at him. Tariq believes he's just like this Donald Trump guy, and that he'll get rich by buying and selling property, despite the fact he doesn't have any money.
Do you think it's ironic that they talk about the Donald Trump book and then he ends up being president so many years later?
So you're saying maybe we look to some of these old pilots to find out who our future political leaders are? Okay.
That's exactly what I said. I'm going to tag him.
I don't disagree. You should tag him.
He's got plenty of time. He should retweet us.
I think he's got some press secretary jobs opening up, so if my new job doesn't work out...
Nice. Maybe I should do it because I'm looking for a new job.
Oh boy, we can talk about that later. Holy cow. Let's land this mother.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Now we rate, right?
Woo!
When I was a kid, man, my mom would say, she'd take the bell, ding, 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 dinner time, ding, 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 come on down for dinner, ding, 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 ding.
She would?
Yeah, every night. Every night like clockwork. 6:05 rolls around.
Was it a cowbell or was it a triangle?
It was more cowbell.
Okay.
And so we come running, right? And we say, oh, it's a tuna casserole, or it's
fish sticks,
tuna bumsteads. Something that was not appealing.
Punch myself in the face,
and that's what I did to get through my meal. I would punch myself in the face.
Lima beans, fucking hated them.
Water chestnuts, no, I'll pass.
Yeah,
but you know what I had to do? I had to pass them over the lips and through the gums. Watch out, tummy, here it comes. Because what was at the end? The dessert, and that's what the rating is.
Okay,
the rating is the dessert of the. You're welcome. And this is what we've been waiting for. All this is just bread. I'm filling up on bread and butter. Yeah. I'm filling up on a side salad, right? Now I got to plow through some vegetables and maybe some chicken casserole, all so I can get to that sweet, sweet dessert at the end, that rating.
Lemon meringue. This is the lemon meringue of our show.
Give me a meringue any day of the week.
Give me death.
As Patrick Henry once said. Is that in Hamilton?
No.
It should be.
It should be. I can't wait.
1 out of 7. That's the scale.
It's actually going to be... It's actually 24 hours from
tomorrow
right
at this time. You will be watching
24 hours from
Hamilton.
right now. I'll be sitting, waiting for that first...
I don't know why you're showing it off, but you are hard as a rock right now.
I'm so fucking horny about it. What makes me mad is that I'm spending $300 for a hotel room I'm not going to be able to have sex in.
Why not? You got a bathroom that locks the door, right?
Kids.
Go in the bathroom.
I'll make her scream.
Or lock the kid in the bathroom.
I'll make her scream so loud. It won't work.
Fair enough. So 1 out of 7, that's the scale. That's what we're working with today and every episode of Couch Pilots. 1 being the worst you can get, 7 being the best. It's based on the classic 1990s television show known as Wings, and we use all the characters from Wings. Number 1's a terrible score. That's Roy Biggins. And number 7 is the best. It's Brian Hackett. So Captain Philip, rest assured, I turn to you. How do you rate Coming to America?
Woo! It's going to be a tough one. You're giving it a John Baisley bump. And
I don't give a lot of bumps for Twitter responses.
No, you don't. Twitter responses.
Eric.
Twitter responses. Again, maybe African American people thought this was funny. Maybe it wasn't right up their wheelhouse. Maybe
Life twirls on.
You know what? It was boring to me. It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
I like Arsenio Hall, and Eddie Murphy back before he touched kids.
Eddie Murphy touched kids?
I'm assuming that's why his career went down the shitter.
I don't know. I can't speak to that.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 2.
Be sure to hashtag him.
I'm going to give it a 2.
Okay, 2. I'm going to go one higher and give it a 3.
Because of the bump?
Because of the bump.
Nice.
This is not very good. It's tough to look past the visual and audio quality. That made it very difficult to...
It just reminded me of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or, you know what I mean? It didn't stand out. It didn't...
But unlike the Fresh Prince, this wasn't a story all about how his life got turned upside down, right?
I could take a minute to sit right there.
And I'll tell you how he became the Prince of Bel-Air. And this guy went from being a prince to not a prince in this country.
Right.
But the Fresh Prince went from not being a prince to being a prince.
Well,
so
he was a prince in West Philadelphia.
That's just where he was born and raised.
Oh.
Do you know where he spent most of his days?
The playground. At the playground. You know, that's where I saw this cutie. Another bad creation again. That was from their original song.
So essentially, Coming to America is a reverse Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Thank you.
If nothing else. So to me, it's not that funny. It has a premise that has potential, and it was an all-black cast, which you didn't get a lot. No. They were ahead of the curve on the diversity factor, but it was too formulaic and not funny.
Yeah, they didn't really even pass that much stuff from the movie onto, you know what I mean? There was no callbacks, right? For the most part.
It'd be nice to...
The prince's name wasn't even the same. There's just one thing that was the same, and that was Omar.
Yeah.
Garcia Parra.
So number 3, and then number 2. Not a great score.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't recommend watching it.
Not great.
So with that, we close the book on Coming to America, and we will never mention it again.
Ever.
But we're not done. Join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of WOLFSHEAD, The Legend of Robin Hood. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. Adventure about the exploits of the heroic outlaw protector of Sherwood Forest and his loyal followers. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots and Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes. Or go to the app for Daily Motion and check out all of the commotion.
Nice.
Hey, nice to you, friend.
Nice to you, friend.
Oh, thank you. How do you contact this stupid show, huh?
Very simple. You go to couchpilotspodcast.com. Mm-hmm. There you have links to our Twitter, our Facebook, I believe our Instagram.
Believe in Instagram.
Yeah.
Believe in it.
No, it's not Instagram. It's Instagram.
Oh, Instagram, man.
Yeah. So, no, Couch Pilots Podcast, you can listen to the show there. You can email us from there. You can go to all our social medias. Check us out. We love fan feedback. It's the place to be. You can search from date. You can search from title or anything. And it's all right there.
Yeah. It's all there. One-stop shop.
But there's one thing that stands above that. Above couchpilotspodcast.com.
Beep, boop, 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 beep, beep.
Thank you. It's the dial-in number, which Tyler and some Mel guy from the Better Business Bureau contacted us.
Gotta call him back.
1-900-PILOTS-1.
Not 1-900.
1?
It's 910 Pilots 1.
Okay, sorry. 1.
That's fine. I don't want to confuse people.
Sorry. Let's start over. The number is 110.
Nope, that ain't it. It's 910 Pilots 1 or 910-745-6871. We take calls 24 hours a day.
Put on your speed dial anytime you feel the need. We understand that everybody doesn't listen to the show at 5 a.m. on Monday morning when it comes out. We understand that, okay? If you listen to it at 3 a.m., if you're in Australia and I think you listen to it on Tuesday, you can go anywhere, anytime you can call in.
I have a story for you about someone who did listen to today's episode at 5 a.m.
Did they like it?
They did not.
Really?
We'll talk about it later.
Fuck.
It was, but that's, to me, we don't do a lot of, we had a call in with your mom one time.
Oh, yeah.
We had a call in with Kevin Clark. We had a call in with Conrad, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. So every once in a while, we get to have an actual conversation with someone over the phone, but the next best thing is you calling in and talking to us on the hotline. It'd be blinging. and then we play the voicemail, and then we respond to it right here on the show.
You get frequent flyer points. Today, Tyler got 1 million from me, and then you gave him 5 million.
Yeah.
He got 6 million frequent flyer points for 7 minutes worth of work.
I can't remember how much was it. It was Conrad who drew those awesome pictures for us a while back, right?
Yes.
So he got a bunch of points for that. No one has ever written a song for us before. That is unprecedented. He's raking in. He is a cash money frequent flyer point millionaire. FCFnetwork.com. You got something else?
You know who that tune was from? The tune was from?
That's a new edition song,
Nope.
if I'm not mistaken.
John Anderson, Just a Swingin'.
Oh.
Just a Swingin'. Yeah.
That was my second guess. FCFnetwork.com. We touched on it earlier, the song Inside and Out. There's also a bunch of other shows on the network. I'm going to see if I can name them all right now. The other, boom. The other archive show, first of all, give me a heart attack, is IBWIP. 300 episodes of that. We're not doing it anymore, but it's out there and you can listen to it. We got the song. Okay, I mentioned the song Inside and Out. We've got Metal Hand of God, Hyper Uppercut, B-Movie Breakdown, Low Blow Podcast, Drunken Lullabies, and Let's Try This. I think that's everything.
It's a fucking stacked deck right there.
Hell yeah, it is. It's a local network. It's a lot of fun. It seriously helps us when you tell people about our show or any of the shows on the network. We're all working together. It's all one big organism trying to support one another. And when you tell people about it, when you listen to us, it helps. It really does. So we really do appreciate you listening to the show. Blake, do you have anything else you'd like to say to all of our frequent flyers today?
I don't like to talk too much at the end of the episode. We're 129 minutes in.
129 minutes or an hour and a half?
Hour and a half.
Okay. Because 129 minutes is like over 2 hours, I think.
No. You know what? It might be over 2 hours.
Jesus.
I love everybody, and I love our fans. I don't care the numbers. It doesn't matter how.
Oh, you don't?
No. It matters not to me how many people. It's the quality of people, and we have great listeners.
We have high quality
and whoever
folks.
listened to it today at 5 o'clock in the morning for the first time who didn't like it, I don't care.
Fair enough. And with that, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Me love you, lady. Goodbye.
Love you, baby.
This show is
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.